Hello everybody and welcome to this new pick a card video. For those of you who are new here, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Ellie. I've been a professional tarot reader for a while now and I've just started making these pick a card readings on YouTube. And if there is one thing that I really love about my job, it's basically empowering people with their gifts, with their talents, with their goals, with their passion. And if there is something that I love just as much as realizing my biggest wildest dreams, is helping people realize their biggest wildest dreams. And so it's basically with this intention today that I wanted to craft this reading for you all. So today will be a career reading, but it's going to be a motivating and an empowering reading. Like I promised you all in my last video, we will sort of fast forward your life into the future, into your further future, and we will take a look at basically the career paths that in this life will make you the most successful, whatever this idea of success means to you, because I know that it's different for everybody, right? So today we will be taking a look at what you will be known for basically in your career by the end of your life, the sort of imprint that you will leave behind on this earth. So it should be a quite exciting topic. We will also tackle the subject of fame and notoriety and how basically that climb towards your highest mountain will sort of feel like and look like for you. So without further ado, if you guys are ready, let me take you to the altar and I'm going to present to you the piles that I have for you today. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to reading. So we are going to start with those two tarot cards on the left, which are going to show me what you will be known for in your career field. So the type of notoriety, whatever, however you may pronounce that, you're going to have. And then after that, we're going to jump into those two cards on the right and the second section of the reading to see what career fields will be making you successful. So remember that this reading is just for fun, you guys, by the way, just mentioning it really quickly, because of course, if there is something that you do not want, then it won't materialize because the universe takes into consideration your free will. And then after that, at the end of the reading, I'm also going to reveal your oracle cards on the table to kind of see what other messages I could pick up on for you about your success story in your career. So if you guys are ready, let's start by seeing what my pile 1 will be known for in this life, shall we? And we are starting with the King of Wands, and the Magician reversed. So we are setting up really strong. I love that. Wow, okay, so that's very obvious that my pile 1 will be known for being a very powerful, very influential leader. And this makes me think because I'm watching, I don't know if you guys have watched this pirate TV show called Black Sails. It's a very freaking good TV show, by the way, especially if you guys are stoked about pirates, just like I am, or if you love period pieces TV shows. But in this show, there is a character called Captain Flint who is able to get what he wants with so much determination, and oftentimes people don't even know how he even got his hands on what he had his sight on. Not even himself knows how he can get and accomplish it, and other characters in the show are almost making jokes about it. And I feel that it might be the same case for the people who have chosen this pile here, where when you want something, you find a clever way to do it. And sometimes you end up having those things in your hands without even realizing how it got there in the first place and exactly what you did to get it. So people around you may notice that sometimes and wonder what type of black sorcery that is in a sense. But that's just a joke, because you guys aren't bad people or anything like that, so don't worry. But what I see though is that you can win or wield crowds, Pawan. I'm seeing you guys either ending up in a leadership position where you are going to have to manage your own crew, your own team in the company you will be working for, or I am seeing you end up in an entrepreneurial position where you are going to have to wear many hats at once with this Magician reversed. But one thing for sure is that my Pawan here have a great amount of power that is meant to rest upon your shoulders. You know, like back in the days when the heir would step to the throne of their father to become king. That's kind of like that, where I see you end up having to manage a great deal amount of power, responsibility, authority, and influence rather quickly. I see you climb that ladder very, very fast in your life. I see you achieve quite a massive success rather quickly. So much so that it may be stressful or overcoming for you to sometimes to have to answer to that many people. So to have received the king here is quite a big deal to me, because in the hierarchy of the court cards, there is nobody sitting more on top than a king, right? There is nobody sitting higher than the king. The king is pretty much the last person that you go to. He is people's last resort in time of crisis, pretty much. And that's what I see happening here. You guys will end up in this position where a lot of people will look up to you for the answers, for the solutions, for your experience, or for your guidance, you know? And I'm seeing you command a lot of respect. I'm also seeing that a lot of you are meant to fix through your own leadership, or through the power that you will have, or through the influence that you will have, reestablish a lot of admiration and even positive changes in a field that either has seen a lot of corruption or that has seen a lot of charlatans with this magician being reversed. Almost as though you guys will put a career back on the map. That is filled with these sort of stigmas, or that is filled with those flawed areas where a lot of people are abusing of their power in there. So for example, some of you could have a career in politics because you genuinely want to establish positive changes in your community, or because you want the values you believe in to be reflected and reinforced in your community. Some of you as well may be landlord owners, or owning apartments, or owning condos or lands, and maybe refurbishing, repair, or make beautiful homes for people to stay in at an affordable price. Those are just examples here, but I keep feeling that you guys will be a source of inspiration in a field that is often regarded as filled with these sorts of, you know, more so tyrant people, or people that are just trying to take advantage of others, or people who are just trying to put money in their pockets. You know how sometimes people can go in these very prestigious careers just for the money and the perks, right? Kind of like people that want to become doctors just because, for example, one of their parents of theirs was one, and so they just want to keep up with the big shoes of their parents and make a lot of money or keep their family name. Well, I feel that you guys may want to become doctor for the real genuine motivation of wanting to save lives. That's just an example here. Maybe you don't want to become a doctor, but that's an example of what I was saying. You know how there are tons and tons of influencers on Instagram who use their platform for money-grabbing schemes. I feel that my influencers who have chosen this path here want to use their fame to pass down a good message, or to have this positive, empowering impact in the lives of other people. So there is this idea of you guys ending up in a very prestigious position, or in an owner type of role, or in a role where a lot of people will look up to you. But you guys will be known and seen as a type of leader, owner, and influencer that defy those stereotypes of manipulation corruption, dishonest practices with this Magician reverse is what I see. So you guys are meant to sort of reestablish a lot of respect, a lot of honor, and a lot of integrity back in your field, whatever this field may be, in a field that has seen, in a field that has been for too long regarded as something only people wanting more money or more attention or more power for themselves go to, in a field who has been filled with scammer artists and non-ethical practices. And I see you guys reverse that popular opinion and those assumptions by going against them. But yes, that's a dangerous amount of power that Mapa 1 are meant to yield and assert into the world. And you guys will be conscious of that power, which is what I like to see with this King of Wands upright here. You will respect the effect of your power and really be aware of its importance, which is why I feel you won't abuse of it and you will utilize this power to do good instead, or to counter people who abuse theirs with this Magician reverse. And I really see you getting the attention and respect that you're going to get for exactly that. When we don't respect the power that we wield or don't understand its effect, we become dangerous with it. Not only to ourselves, but to the world around us as well. And I feel that Mapa 1, you guys are really conscious of that. And I'm getting the impression that it even infuriates you to see that, to see the mission and integrity behind the things that you feel passionate about being abused or soiled like that. But let's jump into your other tarot cards now and see what career paths are going to make Mapa 1 feel very successful, no matter what your definition of success may be to you personally. So we have here the card of the Moon reversed, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so I didn't expect that. Yeah, I didn't expect that turn of energies because the Moon and the Wheel of Fortune are way more, how can I say that? There are more subtle energies than the King of Wands and Magician for sure. Like the Moon is an extremely secretive energy, while this Wheel of Fortune here speaks of karma and of destiny in a sense. So I'm seeing a couple of different possibilities with those cards. What I'm seeing first for you, Mapa 1, is that a whole bunch of you who have chosen this pile are meant to wield a lot of that power behind closed doors, actually. So some of you are meant to pull a lot of strings behind the scene. I don't want to freak anyone out, but a lot of you will watch this reading with a side eye now if I say this, but just because this pile feels like, to me, it kind of feels like Illuminati type of power in a sense. Almost as though you're going to be this powerful leader or powerful hidden influence or powerful weight in the balance of things that nobody is meant to know your name or even your existence. Or maybe that they will know your name but not recognize your face, something along those lines. But I see here that a big majority of you guys are meant to pull strings from behind the shadows a little, where you're going to hold the fate maybe of many people in between your hands with this Wheel of Fortune, and maybe that the general public won't even know it. And you will orchestrate a lot of powerful changes in the world that people are not going to be able to see or not be able to trace back to you. So some of you may definitely have a career in politics or in the law. This is something that I'm strongly picking up. This is also making me think of a secret agent here, or someone working as a private investigator, almost a detective of the sort. So this could be a confirmation for those of you guys who have the opportunity to branch out in one of these avenues. I also see that for others of you, this could as well be speaking of contributing to a lot of big changes to occur, but maybe that bards won't sing songs about you, if you know what I mean. I feel that a lot of my Mapa 1s, most of my Mapa 1s, are just okay with living this very private professional life where your accomplishments and milestones may be very private, where maybe that only a few people around you will know that something happened and it was because of you. But it's crazy because you guys are meant for immense success and power here with this Magician reverse and King of Wands. But it's crazy because it's like you won't brag about it nor show it. The kind of job that you will do won't be written in your face, right? It will be quite secret somehow with this moon reverse, but you will like it this way because you won't like everybody to have their nose in your world anyway, I don't think. Another thing that I'm picking up with these cards is that some of you are meant to bring a revolution in a very exclusive, very misunderstood, maybe even very stigmatized field, like I was saying earlier. And a field that people don't even know the existence of, maybe, or maybe that they know that this field exists, but maybe that this field is still shrouded with mystery with this moon card reverse. So some of you are meant to pierce through in a very unknown, very underground field, maybe even a dark field or a field that is a little bit taboo in a sense, which immediately makes me think of spirituality because, you know, the esoteric field is definitely a widely misunderstood field. You know, I'm in this one, so I guess that I have a lot of story to tell about that. But a lot of people think that it is just born out of charlatans wanting to benefit from vulnerable people, while it's not always the case. If I go back to the previous message about establishing yourself a name and bringing respect in a field that is misunderstood, like I was saying earlier, but I just get a feeling that my power ones are meant to be the leaders in a very unconventional, very unknown sort of field of work, a very unknown world to most people. And that's because you guys will unveil a lot of these things to the general public in a way that is quite revolutionary with this Wheel of Fortune, in a way that is accessible, that is relatable, or you will bring this field under a renewed light to where it can get the respect that it deserves. This could be the esoteric field, like I've mentioned. This could be as well sex work, like working as a sex therapist, or starting your own sex toys company, or writing erotic books, or as a dominatrix, name it. Maybe that you're going to be a hypnotist, or a professional hacker, or a crime scene investigator, or a mortician, right? Funeral director. Something very, very out of the box is what I feel, and maybe even a little bit scary for a lot of people. I feel that my pal ones have the guts and the courage and the openness to go into unconventional jobs like that, that not a lot of people understand. You know, to do the dirty, grindy, or deeper jobs like that, and what people can understand or see of them, and to maybe even start your own company or your own business into stuff like that. You know, it's so interesting because I was reading an article lately about the people, and this is a very, very hard job to do. You have to have the stomach to do these kinds of jobs, but we need them. But yeah, this article was about people who, you know, are working cleaning the crime scenes, right? So very dirty jobs, but the families need these kinds of people. You know, families with already have so much to deal with. They already have to deal with the grief, the loss of their loved ones, especially if it was a murder. It's such a fucking tremendous, painful process to go through that emotionally, psychologically, physically. So they need people with these kind of jobs that will sort of help them in a very unconventional way, help them by doing these kind of dirty things that nobody wants to do. And it's like these types of jobs, they're maybe gruesome, they're maybe a little bit darker, they are maybe a little bit more taboo, but heck, we need them. You see what I mean? So people are probably going to be scared or a little bit skeptical or a little bit judgmental about that with you sometimes. But the truth is, we need people like you guys. The world actually needs people that will be in these fields that nobody has the stomach to go into, or don't have the right the right personality to go into with grace, with humility, with respect. I even wonder if some of you could maybe have a lot of Aquarian or a lot of Scorpio or a lot of Gemini placements in your chart, maybe some Sagittarius as well. You're not obliged to have any of those placements for this reading to still apply and to still resonate, but I see that you guys are meant to gain a lot of fame and renown in a world that is truly known by a very few people, maybe just a handful of people even. And you guys will bring a lot of education to that, to the wider public, and even change people's ideas and opinions about it, which is so interesting. But let's go into your oracle cards now and see what you guys have received, what other sorts of messages it could be able to pick up for you. And we have here the card of growth. Then we have obfuscate. Then we have, look at this, we have the card of courage. Then we have, wow, look at that. Passion, look at all that fire. Then we have here the balancer, and this card says, soar beyond all limiting concepts and embrace your spiritual self in the place beyond female and male, where we all truly are one energy. All right. And then we have the shaman. You see that? And this card says, work on healing and empowering yourself if you want to be useful to others on their own journey from suffering to healing. Yeah. So do you see that? That will take a little bit of courage for my people who have chosen Pawan to truly step into their calling and maybe into your passion even, because something about it feels out of the box to me and maybe even a little bit dangerous or a little bit misunderstood, maybe a little bit too dark for most people even. But I feel that this is because you guys are the great shamans and you are the balancer too. You are going to balance the scales by fulfilling a job that is so needed and that is quite rare to find, to come across. You are going to fulfill a lot of need for that, a need that people probably don't even know that they had. You are going to probably have very unconventional pursuits in this life because somebody needs to be interested in these types of jobs. Otherwise, nobody would do them. And you know what, Pawan? Not everybody may understand the reason behind your choices, and they don't need to. They will see how good it makes you feel to contribute to the world in your own way. They will see that you are so comfortable in your own skin into doing what you do. Look at this kind of passion where the woman's just being so freaking graceful, like exuding her power like that. That is making me think about a friend of a friend who is a dominatrix for a living. Okay, so let me tell you about that. In Montreal, it's kind of a big thing, surprisingly enough, but yeah, her parents obviously don't even know about it. And that's so sad in a sense. It breaks my heart because this means that she can't even be her full self with her family, and because they wouldn't understand basically. But believe it or not, she helps very lonely people or very discontent people and even couples to connect to their sexuality and sense of pleasure in a way that heals them, because she offers that very safe, private, open space for them to explore all of that with her safely and legally. And she's very professional. Oh my god, like I've seen her page. I stalked her website a little bit because my friend was telling me about her and she was showing it to me, and it completely made me saw these types of jobs in a completely new way as she was talking to me about her and all of those questions that she asked her. Like, she really has a big follower base and she does a lot of good. Like, she seems to do a lot of good, actually. You know, all of those people there are consented and they are all, you know, living happier lives because someone like her exists, you know, to make their fantasies come true, basically. And so that's just a funny, you know, out of ordinary example that I'm just telling you guys. But I see that Mapa ones, I see you guys healing and transforming people through this field that is very unknown. I see that with this card of the shaman, in a field that is very exclusive, maybe even very taboo to a lot of people. So you're going to help people grow and expand, and it's going to be such a beautiful thing to watch. But look at all that fire here with this card of courage and this card of passion. Some of you may have a lot of fire in their chart, especially because we also have the King of Wands, but that's a lot of plexus solar chakra energy or work here that I see. It will take a lot of courage to sort of defy the world, and rise above and beyond people's judgments of you and of your type of work, Pawan. But once you do that, Pawan, you are going to transform people and you're going to empower them. No matter if it's through empowering them through a very emotionally difficult moment of their life, or empower them with their body, with their power, with their own talent and passion even. And you're going to be this fascinating person at the dinner party, let me just tell you, because out of the whole room, I guarantee you that nobody else will have a weirder or more unique or rare job like you. You may surprise a few like that once you tell them what you do for a living. You know, I definitely do surprise a lot of people when I tell them that I draw tarot cards and I read them for a living. You know, it makes up for a great conversation. So prepare to speak about your work quite a lot and quite often if you do. But that's a good thing, because by being yourself like that, you're also going to encourage others to be more of themselves too, and to live more unapologetically like that, which is one thing that I really see with your cards, you know, to stop closing their eyes on things like that. So part one, this is pretty much everything that I'm seeing for you. If you have any questions, or if your reading made sense and you have some personal experiences you wish to share with me, please, 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 I want to hear about your story. Are you in your calling yet? Are you still soul searching? Where are you on your journey? Share it down below with me. And I want to thank you deeply for having spent this time of your day with me. And I hope that you have learned something about your beautiful self and journey towards success on this earth, and that this reading was empowering and motivating for you to get head on with your dreams. If some of you have been interested to check out my online tarot services, I do offer personal tarot readings like that on my Etsy page. So the link to all of that, as well as my social medias, will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all soon for another video again. I hope that you subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot more videos coming soon for you all. And I hope to meet you there in the next one. Bye, you guys. Hello, pal 2, and welcome to your reading. So we are going to start with those two cards here on the left, which are going to show me what you will be known for in your career field. So the type of notoriety that you're going to have. And then we are going to jump into those two tarot cards on the right in the second section of the reading to see what career fields will be making you successful. And remember that this reading is just for fun, you guys, by the way, just mentioning it really quickly, because of course, if there is something that you do not want, then remember that it won't materialize, because the universe takes into consideration your free will. So yeah, so then after that, after the second section, I'm going to reveal your tarot cards at the end of the reading as well, to get some more messages and see what else I could be picking up for you about your success story in your career. So if you're ready, let's start by taking a look at what my pile twos will be known for in this life, all right? So we are starting with the Hermit. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so my pile twos are people that will be known for their whole dedication to their life's work, to the wisdom, experience, and new discoveries that you are probably going to make by making your passions your life's study, your life's commitment, and life's dedication. You are going to take a field and you are going to study it into a depth that nobody went to before with this Hermit card. And you are going to bring your own touch of wisdom and story through it. There is a spiritual portal that you are going to open through your work for sure, and you may not realize it, but you have this effect for other people where you will plug them to a universal understanding of their journey here on earth through your work, through your trade, through your craft, through your art, whatever this Pentacles, this Eight of Pentacles may be for you. So whatever you decide to really concentrate on and focus on with this card. I also want to say that it's going to be a slow and steady climb to the top for my pile twos. You may know success actually later in your life. Your success story will be a slow burn with this Eight of Pentacles. And it's going to grow with your age and your wisdom as well, with the Hermit. And I won't lie, I'm a bit sad that this deck hasn't represented a Hermit by an old person like usual, because that would have added to the diversity. But I also love that it says a lot to see an older figure, right? Because the Hermit is really speaking about that wise outlook. And you know how some people can still be wise for their age? Like, I do believe that there is knowledge and wisdom that comes from soul experiences, but I also do believe that there is a different type of wisdom and knowledge that comes with getting closer to death, which younger people cannot understand. So I feel that you guys will touch both. For when it comes to your career, you will both reach a very big level of expertise and experience throughout the years, but I also want to say that you, my pal, too, are going to fascinate the people that you're going to touch and reach with your calling, because you are going to go a lot deeper than other people in your field tend to go. You really are going to stand out by diving deep underneath the surface of what you're trying to understand out of your craft. And that makes me think of a history teacher that I had when I was back in high school, so many years ago. But this woman was so passionate about what she was teaching us, and she was going so in depth and was really involving herself in recreating these sorts of like theatrical stories and recreating history that she will come to tell us each day. And sometimes she will even come in class with a disguise, you know, dressed up. And every class was different with her, you know, her passion. And because she was going a lot more in depth and into the gruesome and sometimes funny details of history that normally other teachers, you know, would skip or will not even know about. You know, she knew that, and she was telling us about that. You know, she brought a dimension to her work that was rare to find, and you should have known how she was able to capture the whole class because of that. You know, I would love actually to study her birth chart. Let me tell you that. And I feel that this is the same for those who have chosen Pile 2. I feel that you're going to stand out and mark and even change people that you're going to meet, cross paths with, by sharing your passion and that depth to them. You are going to transpire your interest for the field in them. Where, let's say that you're a history teacher, if I take back that example, then you are maybe going to make some students in your class want to go study history more seriously, you know, at university, and maybe become an archaeologist or a museologist or a history teacher just like you. Where, for example, if you sew clothes or knit, you're going to transmit that passion, and maybe that people are going to want to take a knitting class just because of you. I just feel that you guys will go extremely deep and extremely precise in a field of your interest, and in a field that normally people are like, meh. You know, you're going to turn that into something so interesting, something so complex, deep, interesting, fascinating. You're going to attain a lot of success because of how exclusive and how branched your work will be as well. Is another thing that I'm picking up strongly here. So let's say, for example, that you sew clothes. Just to take that example again, then maybe you're going to specialize, for example, in period pieces, and that you will be teaching people history through your passion for sewing and for antique clothing. You know, I follow a girl on YouTube that does just that, and her videos are so fascinating and so interesting. I'm not even into the fashion world, you know, I couldn't care less for fashion or anything like that if you're someone that already know me, but I love history, you know, I love period pieces, and she transmitted me her passion for clothing just because of that. So I feel that you're going to go so in depth with your work and go so specialized that it's going to be something so unique that you guys are going to do in my pal too. And that's why it's going to touch and move people in this very original way, in this very, in a way that nobody thought of before. Nobody's seen before. So a lot of you are going to get a lot of attention and interest for your work through the content that you're going to produce as well, or through how you're going to share or transmit your knowledge and experience about it. So do you see? I find it interesting because you see how on those two cards there is a laptop. There's one on the hermit card, and there's one here. The girl's sort of like working on a computer there. So there is a computer on both of these cards. So a lot of you may work from home or gain a lot of online fame and online success, or I can also see this as a metaphor for the fact that you're going to be transmitting your knowledge. So maybe passing down your knowledge or teaching your craft, teaching your passion, because on the internet, a lot of data get transferred and shared fast, right? So I see this as either or. I feel that my Paltus are going to get some sort of online attention though. I really do. And if it's not online, then I feel that your fame might be more restricted. Like your level of notoriety won't be as its highest potential, but maybe that you don't even care about quantity. In fact, I don't think that my Paltus have the biggest care in the world if they're going to be famous or not. To be sincere, I feel that you guys are just in this hermit energy here, where you just want to transmit your passion and transmit your knowledge genuinely because you just simply genuinely love what you do. You know, you will want to transmit your gifts and pass down your talents to whomever may be in need of that inspiration in their life. That is what I'm strongly picking up here. And I feel like you guys are like me, you know, where for you, it doesn't really matter how large the audience is, how many people, you know, reach you in your work. You just care about the depth of the impact that you're going to have on the people that will feel themselves drawn organically to your work. You just want to stay 100% yourself and in your integrity. And the funny thing is that I don't think that my Paltus are even expecting a massive fame awaits them, or, you know, that they could even get famous in their life, because your field is going to be such a precise line of work is what I'm feeling with this Eight of Pentacles. And yet, because of the ways that you execute it, or are yourself in it, or are so wise in your approach with it, you're going to touch so much people, you guys. And you know who this is making me think of? Bob Ross. Have you watched his documentary on Netflix? Oh man, go watch that. It broke my heart. This man touched millions of people from all walks of life. People who had no interest in art before meeting him, people with no artistic skills whatsoever, people with anxiety, people with depression, with ADHD. Why? Because Bob Ross was not only teaching painting. In fact, I don't think that he was even teaching painting. It only seemed like that, but he wasn't. Bob Ross was teaching people about life, about their life, and how they can be more present to capture the beauty of it and become a better human. He was teaching people about how to deal psychologically with compassion for their mistakes, right? The happy accidents. So there was a wisdom to the man that got transmitted through his work. His work was just a channel. It was just the medium for that. But that channel brought the interest of millions of people to his work, and he made them want to paint. It wasn't even about the painting. And even people who didn't have the slightest care about painting and who didn't want to paint still gathered around him to watch him, to listen to him, because it was so relaxing, so healing, so inspiring, so captivating of a human being. So, you know, when I say that you guys will touch people with that level of wisdom, that is what I mean with this hermit here. So my Pantus have that same power. You guys have the power to really heal, really inspire, and teach people about themselves and about life beyond what you're simply doing. You know, what you will be doing will just be the medium for that. You know, it will just be the channel. But you guys are going to touch people who are soul searching, and they will find a piece of themselves through your work or through your approach with your work. That's what I see with this hermit next to this Eight of Pentacles. So for you, it won't be even about what you do or how you do it, because again, that work will simply be the channel and the medium for your bigger message here. But it will be about the bigger wisdom of life behind it, the bigger, more important message behind it that you are going to transmit, and which will ameliorate the lives of many. So that is an extraordinary gift that you came to share, Patu. Let me just tell you. So let's jump into your other tarot cards now and see what career paths are going to make my Pantus very successful, no matter what that definition of success may be to you personally. So we have here the Two of Wands reversed. And we have, look at that, the Page of Wands. So exactly, look at that. You guys are visionaries. You guys are inventors. You guys are going to be the big pioneers in your line of work. And in today's age, a pioneer will be someone who goes first into uncharted territories. So you guys are meant to arrive first somewhere in your life, or to be the first to come up with that very great, very original, very new idea, very new concept that has not been explored before. Or if this is something that already exists, then I see you going a lot deeper in this field of subject than the rest of people. And that's how you are actually going to stand out from the crowd and from the rest of the experts in your field. But I really think that my Pantus, with this Two of Wands reversed and this Page of Wands, as well as with the Hermit, are the great teachers. You guys are the great gurus. People will connect to a deep flame of resonance through you, which is what the Suit of Wands speaks about. So they will relate and identify with you or with what you are going to say. And that's because with this Wands energy here, there's simply too much passion that you guys are going to transpire, and how eager, how curious, how young-minded you will be about that approach of the subject you will feel drawn to. And look at that. The woman on the Two of Wands, she's even holding a phone here. So we have a lot of technologies here in this pile. So most definitely, a lot of people who felt drawn to this pile are meant to attain the biggest success of their life online, I feel, through social medias or through your own website or your own page or through your own blog or maybe even through your own podcast. I feel that this is my pile of my content creators here for sure. So some of you may transmit their passion and knowledge through YouTube, like me even. I'm also getting, with those computers and that phone, a lot of information being passed down. So some of you came to pass down some sort of information as well, and be that computer for other people in a sense. So some of you will become the medium in between that information and the general public. So other career fields that I'm picking up here for those of you who have chosen this path is definitely teaching, becoming a teacher or becoming a writer or a journalist even. I don't know why, but anything that may touch the field of communication or the creative field are really great avenues for my pal twos, because I don't know why, but I felt it with this Eight of Pentacles somehow, where this Eight of Pentacles to me somehow felt deeply creative, more than usual. So I also want to say that my pal twos may be great sellers. You guys may have this talent to be able to sell your ideas or do the online marketing or market the projects that you truly sincerely believe in. So some of you may even have some sort of online store even, but this is my pile of great inventors, visionaries, and pioneers here, of people who are meant to see things from an angle that is often overlooked with this Two of Wands reverse, or discover something first through your studies or through your life's dedication to your field. Or you guys are the people meant to go a lot deeper with your studies and understanding of what you do, more than a lot of people tend to go to. So for example, let's say that you're an astrologer, right? You may be an astrologer that goes above and beyond the stereotypes to really decorticate the energy of each sign. And that's because your goal may be to really help people get to know themselves at the deepest pit of their understanding of themselves, and not only know what their life's theme or life's lesson will be about, what their strengths are all about, but to also help them understand the why is that so, and how they can step into the greatness of who they are. So you guys are not going to keep things on a shallow level or on a surface level for sure. That's what I see with a hermit. You guys are not going to do that. Hell no. You refuse to be shallow. You refuse to be superficial like that. You guys are going to be different and recognize to be that person that breaks the stereotypes and who does things extremely differently. And that's because the mission behind what you do will be so important. It will be at the forefront of your work. You really want to help this world advance, progress, innovate. And that's what you're going to do through your career with those cards for sure. But let's get to your oracle cards now and see what other messages may want to come through about your success story, Palsu. And we have here the card of fire. And we have, okay, we have a card of fear. And we have, wow, compassion. And travel. Then we have the warrior. And this card says, know that you have the power to defeat negative thinking. Learn to understand and cope with your greatest enemy, your own fear. God damn it. And then we have, look, we have a messenger. So that's pretty similar to what I was saying earlier. And it says here, make sure that what is being said is what is being heard. The same words and messages can often mean different things to different people. Okay. Yeah, see? So you guys are the great messenger. There is a bigger message behind your work that you came to transmit. That's the thing. And that's why people are going to get so drawn to you and to your energy and to what you do. There is going to be a big personal piece of yourself through your work that is really going to inspire and heal others, like I was saying. I see that as well with this card of compassion here. Okay. So a couple of things are coming here to me. There is this card of travel here, and do you see how on this card of compassion, the person there is sort of their hands over the globe here, the planet. So some of you may have a future in international connections or communication, maybe international relationships, maybe even that you're going to be a digital nomad, which could be the reason why I saw that internet success and internet fame for you. Maybe that you are someone who is going to travel and make all of those experiences around the globe. And that is why you're going to find a way to take your work online. Otherwise, maybe that you're going to work online and connect with people from all around the globe too. Kind of like me again. I am an online tarot reader, and so I'm so blessed to be able to read for people and connect to people from all around the world, from so many different cultures and countries. But definitely some of you may be the bridge gap in between different places of the world. So you may again work in communication, or your work may put you into contact with an audience from around the world. Now, I find it interesting that this card of the worries is the warrior is there, and we have the card of the fear here, and we also have the card of fire that came out for you, where there's so much fire, so much passion, so much motivation that you are going to give people. That reminds me of that wand energy here. Wand energy is fire energy, kind of like I was telling you about, you know, my example of Bob Ross, who has touched millions of people with anxiety, depression, ADHD. He brought healing and self-compassion to those people by helping them see their talents and their ability to create really beautiful paintings. So a lot of you guys are going to be some sort of Bob Ross in your own field, it seems. But another thing that I'm also picking up as well is that a lot of you may actually struggle with that yourself. So maybe that you have struggled with a lot of anxiety yourself, or with a lot of depression, or maybe that you had your own psychological struggles, and maybe that's why you are going to take your work online. Maybe that some of you have social anxiety as well, and this could be why too. But the messenger is here. Okay, so speaking, sharing your story, telling other people your story through your work is meant to appease, relax, and motivate a lot of people, Pal 2. So you're going to remind them that they are not alone. So this is crazy, because my Pal 2s are really the people that want to make some sort of a difference in the world, that came motivated with this idea of leaving the world a better place than when you first entered it. And I love to see that. If everybody would start thinking about that for when it comes to channeling their passions and their gifts and their voice into the world, imagine what kind of place the earth will be. You know, amazing. But Pal 2, I hope that you appreciated this reading. If you have any questions, or if this reading made sense to you and you have some personal experiences you wish to share with me, please, 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 I want to hear about your story. So are you in your calling yet? Or are you still soul searching? Maybe you're still in that hermit phase yourself. You know, where are you on your journey? Share it down below with me. And I want to thank you so deeply for having spent this time of the day with me. And I hope that you have learned something about your beautiful self and your journey towards success on this earth. and that this reading was able to empower you and motivate you to go head on with your dreams. If some of you as well have been interested to check out my online tarot services, I do offer personal tarot readings from my Etsy page. So the link to all of that, as well as my social medias, will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope that you subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot more videos coming soon for you all, and I hope to meet you there in the next one. Bye, you guys. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So we are going to start today with those 2 tarot cards on the left, which are going to show me what you will be known for in your career field. So the type of notoriety that you're going to have, and then we're going to jump into your second 2 tarot cards on the right for the second section of the reading to see what sorts of career fields will be making you successful. And remember that this reading is just for fun, you guys, by the way, so just mentioning it really quickly, because of course if there is something that you do not want, then it won't materialize, because the universe does take into consideration your free will. But then after that, at the end of your reading, I also have a couple of oracle cards that I'm going to reveal last as well, to see what sorts of other messages I could be picking up for you about your success story in your career. So if you guys are ready, let's start by seeing what my pile 3 will be known for in this life, shall we? So we are starting with the 6 of Wands. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So let me just say that you guys came to experience a very high level of recognition and notoriety. The 6 of Wands is the big card of success in tarot, and especially it speaks about social recognition. So people knowing your name and recognizing your face. And I know that this reading is about fame and how you will be known to the world, but I feel that out of all of my piles today, my pile 3s, in a reading that speak of fame will probably get the most fame. So you guys are the people meant to probably have their own very hardcore fans, people that cannot help but to return to you and to your product or to your service that you will offer. People that once they come into contact with you and your work cannot find any better than you, basically. And so they keep returning and speaking about you to their friends and to their family. My pile 3s will have their own followers and loyal supporters for sure. You guys are meant to grow a very large audience base is one thing that I'm picking up too with the 6 of Wands, and gain a lot of fans and a very loyal customer base around something that you are going to serve people with this Knight of Cups, which is what I find so interesting here in your reading. There is this element of your action or your acts of service to, or basically how you serve people or how you present that to people, that will be the greatest reason behind your success, to be frank with you. People are going to get addicted by your energy or by your product or by your service, and they are going to keep coming back to you because nobody else understands their needs better than you. Nobody understands their tastes better than you, and how they like what they want to be delivered or done better than you. So it's funny because I feel that my pile 3 don't do so well when you're not around people. I feel that you guys need to be in contact with people in order to truly shine or to be in your true purpose or to really stand out. People give you life, but you also give them life too. So you absolutely need to be at the customer service or at the front of the house or in contact with the public in order to really transmit your bigger gifts to this earth. And I believe that this is because my pile 3s have those bunch of social skills and communication abilities that people gather behind. basically. It's almost like this big trendsetter energy where you guys know what is in and what is out, what people will want and love, and what they don't want and don't need. You're probably the great host, Pile 3, and I want to go to your parties because you probably keep people warm and well fed while giving them a really good time. I don't know why, but this energy here is really making me think of my stepmother somehow. My stepmother is the kind of woman that dies slowly when she's not working amongst people. I swear to God. She has worked her whole life in customer service, and that's because she's good at it. You know, everything is always so top notch with her. You know, 5-star service. You cannot find a better attendant or steward than her because she understands your taste, your needs, your wants better than anybody else in the room, better than you even. You may not even know what you would like, and she will tell you. And now she works in the office, and I see a flame slowly dies in her every day because of that. And sometimes we make jokes about it with her because she knows that, you know, she knows that about her, because that's definitely not the kind of work that she was built for, and she knows that. But she is near retirement now, and she wants to start a new dream of having her own bed and breakfast. And so I think that it's going to do her well to go back to her passion of being of service to the world and to the people, because that's truly her gift, you know, that's truly our talent and her specific art. It's to make people feel good and at home in our presence, which is what the Knight of Cups is really gifted at. And I feel that it's the same for you guys. Something important is going to die inside of you if you hide this gift that you have. I feel that you're someone that needs to be amongst people and really have that human contact in order to feel happy. And when you are happy, the world around you starts to shine and everybody becomes happy. It's kind of like you have that magic to you, you know, that power and that influence. So the Knight of Cups is kind of a diplomat, in my opinion. All knights in tarot are in charge of a very sacred task that they carry for their queen and their king. And the Knight of Cups is not the kind of ones that is being sent to fight. You know, not like the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Wands. He's not really a fighter. He's not really the one that gets his hands dirty. He is the one in shiny armor. Pretty much. Normally, he is the knight that he is sent to show some sort of impressive display to the general public or to the other leaders. He's sent to be this charming presence that is going to sweet talk his way through and make amends or show off some sort of power, show off some sort of charisma to make other leaders feel good, right? Or other people feel good. So he is in charge of some sort of a beautiful gift that he gives, right, with his cup, or well-presented offer, a beautiful act of service to make people feel good or to enact beauty and grace. So that's why I saw that you guys need to be in contact with the public. You guys need to be the represented, the ambassador, the negotiator, the face of the company or of the brand, right? So you guys are the great knights that came to charm their way into people and even move them through your influential presence with the Six of Wands. I see here that you guys have this gift to make people feel amazing, to make people feel at home, to make them feel like they can identify to you. You have this gift to be able to warm them up to you and with you and get them to open up to you. You guys are good at making friends or at making contacts or at influencing people in a certain direction. You want to lead them. Do you see how on both of these cards, the character there is sitting on this high horse, right? So that's you guys leading the direction of the crowd to follow. Look at all of these people with their wands around the Six of Wands. Mapal 3s may be great influencers, the great social diplomats. You may get the most successful in your life through working directly hands-on with the customer or with the public, even to be that link basically in between the service or the product and the people that will be receiving it. kind of like the deliverer of that with the Knight of Cups. By being this public figure or image as well, that people are going to recognize in the streets. I see either two things here. Either I see you thrive in customer service, where you guys will not only offer an excellent, remarkable, out of ordinary experience, a 5-star service like the Knight of Cups, but you guys will also offer an experience. You see, that's the big difference, where as someone enters your salon or your office or your garage or your lobby, whatever it may be, they know that they are going to be treated like a king or a queen, where you make them feel so good about themselves that you bring them on this high horse with you too, where they feel better about themselves, where they feel uplifted, beautiful, powerful. Otherwise, the other thing that I see as well is that some of you are meant to attain a lot of notoriety by being the great showman under the lights of a projector. So like I've said, you may be an influencer or the comedian or the entertainer, or maybe that you're going to be the public speaker, you know, the actor or the director, some sort of star to admire here. That's really what those cards are really making me think of, because when you're on a horse like that, to me, that gives me the impression that you're not on the same sort of level than when you are by foot, right? So it's like people are going to see you stand out from the crowd, and they will have no choice but to watch you and respect your presence, you know? So I haven't checked your career cards yet, but I see here with those two people standing proud on their horse with their eloquence and charm, they sort of really make me think of someone that is meant to move, charm, entertain, and influence the crowds, basically. So that's kind of like a leader, but a different type of leader to me. Not a leadership where you will tell other people what to do and where to go, but more so of a leadership where there is this following base that keeps being around you, where there's just so much people that are going to know you or your work, or that are going to be able to positively influenced by you in their life, basically. So this is a crazy amount of power that you will yield into being just by your mere presence and just by your voice, or just because of the personality that you have, that people will love and appreciate. So it's almost like you're going to be the most successful by just being you, not pretending, just being you. I really see here that what will make you successful and known in your career path 3 is really those interpersonal skills that you have and that make you stand out, as well as the experience that you're meant to provide people through your work, or through the service you are going to offer, or through the product that you will make, that will either entertain them or make them feel better about themselves, like they just can relax and let it go and have nothing to take care of or worry about, because they know that with you everything is taken care of, that in their presence they are in good hands, in the hands of a Knight of Cups, basically. And they know that with you, their expectations will not only be met, but they will be exceeded. That's the power in the Knight of Cups to me. So this is what I see with this card. You're meant to serve that cup of fantastic, magnificent, delicious, beautiful mix, that legendary customer service or legendary experience. So let's jump into your other tarot cards now and see what career paths are going to make my path 3 very successful, no matter what your definition of success may mean to you personally. And we have here the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and Temperance reversed. So for some reason, I'm seeing you working with your hands a lot, pile 3. I feel that your hand chakras are very open and very active. For when it comes to the chakras, we have many in our bodies. So we don't only have the 7 traditional chakras. And I don't know why we don't speak about the hand chakras as much, because I feel like these are powerful as centers. And in Reiki, for instance, we really learn how to tap into them and how to move and transmit energy from there. So I wonder if you are someone crafty, or if you're maybe a builder, a manual person, something like that. Maybe that you create a lot, or that you work a lot with your hands. I'm seeing the things that you touch, basically, and that you make transform into gold. It seems like you guys are blessed with Midas touch, or you are the great alchemists, which is what I've always personally recognized temperance as. You know, transforming water into wine, or metal into gold. I feel like I was on point earlier when I said that some of you may offer a service of some sort, or offer goods, but you guys are meant to bring that experience with it, like I was mentioning, which is what will make you really stand out here. You're probably someone who has great taste, or an eye for the details, maybe that you cultivate very high standards and work ethics. You may even be a perfectionist, with temperance and the 2 of Pentacles both being reversed here. But I see that you guys are producers, crafters. You are meant to be very hands-on with your gifts and your talents, and you will create your company out of that talent that is quite rare to find. And like I was saying, for some of you, it's how you serve people. I cannot stop but to come back to that. So for some of you, it's not something even tangible that you will necessarily create or give. It's your service with this Knight of Cups. So a lot of you guys are really meant to be in the business industry, where you just trade for your gifts and have your own shop, or your own restaurant, or your own hotel, or your own massage studio at home, maybe, because there is definitely this is definitely my gifted pile here. Basically, people who have chosen this pile were given a very specific set of talents, and you are meant to create things out of this talent for people, and kind of be this freelancer, in a sense, that will come and people will basically come to seek you out for you to sell that work or that service to them. And for my pile 3s, you guys, you make magic happen with your hands somehow. This is really what I feel with this 2 of Pentacles and Temperance reversed. You're sort of able to transfer energy, or create energy, or remodel and transform energy with your hands. This keeps coming back. So some of you have maybe that you have very delicate hands, and that's because you were given this gift to be very meticulous with your work. And for others of you, I see that it's the complete opposite of that, where you have very big, very rough, rugged hands, and maybe that your nails are never grow, and they're always kept trimmed short, but that's because you need to work with them a lot. So maybe that your hands are your primary tool, in a sense, where you have to get them dirty pretty much through your work. But either which way, you've got the fairy hands. I don't even know if that's an expression that they say in English, but in French we say that. So some of you are meant to gain that success through creating their own product, no matter what this could be, whether that's making or tailoring clothes, or maybe making candles, or making food, making soap, building instruments. Why not? Building homes, maybe decorating homes. What you can create with your hands is divine, is something that I'm hearing here with this Temperance reverse and 2 of Pentacles reverse. And you are meant to profit out of that greatly. Otherwise, another thing that I'm strongly picking up for a big portion of you as well is that Some of you are also very great fixers, maybe problem solvers or repairers, renovators, and remodelers of some sort, with those two cards being reversed. So it's like you're able to rearrange energy to your liking, or to fit a very specific frequency, basically. So you may have a lot of success in a career like that lets you sell your solutions, or lets you refurbish the old into the new, maybe refurbish antiques or furnitures, or maybe that you're great at repairing cars, maybe even old antique cars, or this could even be that you are a dentist, you know, something like that. Maybe that you could be a makeup artist even, or a nail artist, or maybe that you do hair, or going to be a stylist, that will give that makeover to people. That could be the great gift and experience that you give, that I was talking about earlier too, where people come to you in order to feel transformed, renewed in their own sense of self, you know, closer to their own self maybe. And what they end up having is that great customer experience where they feel so heard, so understood, so gotten on point, and in result they come out of your shop healed, basically transform, closer into their essence, you know, closer to their own natural beauty or their natural essence, or whatever it may be. Basically, it's funny because you guys are meant to heal people in a very indirect way, you know. They don't always speak about how things like the aesthetic industry or beauty industry, just to throw an example here, is healing a lot of people like that, because to a lot of people, that's their time with themselves, where they can just take care of themselves, of their body, and have that self-care moment, you know, when they go get their nails done or go get their hair done or something like that. And that's healing to a lot of people. So this is what this temperance reversed says here, is that you will heal a lot of people indirectly, in a sense, through your service or through your product, because of how gentle and precise and innovative your approach will be in your field of work. So now this is a very important and personal skill that you were given, Pile 3, because you're someone who is meant to intimately transfer or interact with other people's energy directly through the things that you make for them, or through the service that you will give them. There will be a lot of transfer of energy through it, is what I see with those two cards, but also with this Knight of Cups here. That's why people are very picky with their mechanics, or with their hairdressers, or with their massage therapist, especially if you're someone that will touch people directly, right? Because they need to trust you enough in order for that transfer of energy to be a vibrational match to them. So that's a very big gift that you have, to be able like that to make other people feel comfortable with your energy, and in this energy exchange that you will provide for them, and to even get to trust you enough to the extent that they will, where you can transform or repair their energy like that. Or repair and transform something that they will interact with every day, which in turn will have that impact on their energy, if you see what I mean, as they wear it or as they use what you have done for them. But there is a big emphasis here around working with your hands, or transferring a lot of energy, healing energies and repairing energies through your hands, which is quite cool. Yeah, but let's get to your oracle cards now and see what other types of messages that may be wanting to come through about your success story, Pile 3. And we're starting here with the card of ceremony. Yeah, see, so there is some sort of ceremony that you guys are meant to set up for people, for your customer base, something like that. Then we have achievement. Do you see that? That's awesome. Then we have love. Yeah, so I feel with this card, you know, when I talked about the aesthetic or beauty industry, I feel like there is a portion of you guys that will probably be in that industry, you know, helping people to get that self-care or that self-love treatment that they deserve, basically. Then we have prosperity. Wow. We have the drama queen. And this card says, some people need a high level of attention to validate their sense of worth. Make sure that you are not that person stagging needless plays. Okay. And then we have the poet. And this card says, make your life a work of art and your art a work of life. See the poetry in the mundane and you will be rewarded beyond measure. Beautiful. So there is huge material rewards that are meant to come towards you for your gifts. And do you see with this kind of achievement? It's like you guys have this summit to climb and a huge pentacle in your life that you're meant to aim towards and reach in your career. But a lot of material blessings with this kind of prosperity is what I see is on the way. And beauty is also meant to shower over your life with this card of love. And I also felt that earlier with a Knight of Cups and a card of Temperance somehow. And I feel it again also with the poet, where there is a lot of beauty that is meant to surround you somehow, pile 3. Or maybe that this is the type of experience that you will seek to provide to your customer base, especially with this card of the drama queen here. Do you remember when I said that a lot of people have a hard time trusting their mechanics, their hairdressers and things like that? I feel like you guys are meant that will sound weird, to make the drama queens happy, basically. And I know that this sounds like very bad saying it like that, like how can that be my purpose, you know, to just answer to capricious people. But I mean it in a good way though, where yes, you guys, you know, will have to answer to maybe a few capricious people from time to time, but I also feel that your job will be in providing that whole mind-blowing experience again. I am sorry for repeating myself, but this is something that keeps coming back in this reading. So I see it again with this kind of ceremony, like I said, with that kind of ceremony. This is not a show off, all right? This is not a display, or it's not to stay in the shallow and the superficial though. To me, a ceremony is highly sacred. So you guys are gifted at creating this ceremony space for people where you set the frequency of the room with your presence and with your charisma, with this Knight of Cups, right? For people to suddenly enter a mood, right? An atmosphere that is magical and beautiful. Oh my God, this was the panel, right? Where I said that some of you maybe at the front of the camera, right? Something like that. Yeah, you guys may definitely have a future career as an artist as well, which could be why I saw your hands a lot as well. So maybe that you play music, or maybe that you make art. And if that's the case, then there is definitely a big sense of success, achievement, and recognition that will come from that in avenues like acting as well. Maybe that some of you will do theater or become actors. With the Knight of Cups ceremony, poet and drama queen, either that or you guys have this gift to really set the mood, like I have said, to make people feel like kings and queens in your presence, where they can enter their king or queen frequency with you and feel loved and feel beautiful and feel wanted or better about themselves with this card of love. So pile 3, this is pretty much everything that I'm seeing for you. If you have any questions or if this reading made sense to you and you have maybe some personal experiences that you wish to share with me, then please, 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 I want to hear about your story. Are you in your calling yet? Or are you still soul searching maybe? Where are you on your journey? Share it down below with me. And I want to thank you so deeply for having spent this time of your day with me. And I hope that you have learned something about your beautiful self and your beautiful journey towards success on earth, and that this reading was empowering and motivating for you to go head on with your dreams. And if some of you have been interested to check out my online tarot services, I do offer personal tarot readings from my Etsy page. So the link to all of that, as well as my social medias, will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope that you subscribe to the channel, because there is a lot more videos coming soon for you all. And I hope to meet you there in the next one. Bye, guys. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. So we are going to start with those 2 cards on the left here, which are going to show me what you will be known for in your career field. So the type of notoriety that you're going to have. And then after that, we're going to jump on those 2 cards on the right here in the second section of the reading to see what career fields will actually be making you successful. And remember that this is just a reading just for fun, by the way. So I'm just mentioning it really quickly, because of course, if there's something that you do not want, then it won't materialize in your life, because the universe does take into consideration your free will. But then at the end of your reading, I also have some extra oracle cards as well that I will want to reveal to see what other messages I could be picking up for you about your success story in your career. So if you guys are ready, let's start by taking a look at what my pile 4 will be known for in this life. All right, so we are starting with the 9 of Wands. And then we also have the 3 of Pentacles. So that's interesting. There is an extremely socially conscious energy about this pile. My pile 4s, I feel that you guys work very well on your own, like you can work very well in a team too. You don't mind about that. But you will be known for breaking limits and boundaries of human social interactions, human/social rights, for sure. You will bring a consciousness and awareness about that, on the importance of one-on-one relationships as well, and what we can accomplish when we decide to unite together instead of going our separate ways. I feel that you guys will be great people gatherer, bringing people from all walks of life or people with very different skill sets to work on this very significant project together. I feel that you're really good and gifted at that. Bringing people behind a project that will change a lot of things for your community even, is what I see you will be known for in this life. You will be known for that, for having brought a community of people together through sharing a very similar goal, a very similar vision of how things should be done. There is also a very big theme of intimacy being a play here, which I find interesting. And I know that the 9 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles don't tend to speak of that, but in a sense, they kind of do in a way. And see, there is a naked lady here on this 3 of Pentacles that is being drawn on this card. And the 9 of Wands, it speaks of someone who has basically suffered from so many breaches of boundaries, from so many battles, so many violations in their life, if you will, that they started basically creating this wall that will keep everybody out and to protect themselves and their own interests, basically. So that's what I mean by you guys are the wall breakers. You guys will reach the people who feel extremely isolated or even guarded and a bit wounded like on this Nine of Wands, and you're going to bring them in a very socially interactive environment where they can share their gift and their voice and their talent and feel important for it, where they can feel like they are making a difference in the world again. So you guys have been given an extremely huge gift. I feel it's to be able basically to align people behind a common idea or a common project or a common vision, and that's what you will be known for, is what I see. It's not by being this leader that tells other people what to do. No, I feel that my power force will be known and respected as being this very big egalitarian at work and with co-workers. And I feel that this is because you guys have a very big gift at helping people see their talents, their skills, their potential that they cannot see with this Nine of Wands. And so because you are someone that is able to see that in them, you are able to bring those people back to a place where they can work with other people, as well as feel that they have an important, significant role in the collective or in the group or in the team, whatever this organization or collaboration may be, which is what the Three of Pentacles speaks of. But yes, you guys will be known for being the great unifier. You will be primarily focused on who is involved in the situation and the interpersonal dynamics of the groups. So you're going to probably be known for that, for having this very generous, very warm, very likable, sociable personality even. And let me just say that with this Nine of Wands, you are someone able to get through some people with very tough shells, with very thick shields and walls around them. And you're able to reach them basically and pull them out of it. Pull them out of this environment, to bring this wall down, to access the very vulnerable, very tender side of them. And I don't know why, but I feel that you guys are meant to excel in anything that requires this sort of deep intimacy to be created, or this wall to be broken down, sort of. Whether that's establishing trust or getting people to open up to you. You know what this is making me think of? I don't know why, but I'm having a mental picture right now of a caretaker who is giving a bath to an elderly person. And oh my God, do you need to have a very special personality and be a very special person to be able to do that in a way that makes the elderly person feel comfortable, for you to take care of them in such an intimate way, right? To make them feel respected and make them feel dignified through the process. It's kind of the vision that I'm getting with those two cards somehow, where you guys are not only unifiers, but you are egalitarian, like I was saying. So you treat everybody the same and like they are your equal. And through it, you give back people who didn't have a chance at that dignified life to feel respected and important again with this Three of Pentacles. I hope that I'm doing these cards justice right now with my words, because that is the energy that I feel here. I feel that those of you who have felt drawn to Pile 4, you guys have a very specific profile, a very specific personality type maybe, that makes you a perfect match for working with people who need to be, who are in these special cases, who need to be reintroduced in society, or who need to feel important again. So you will be known for bringing those people who have been left out with this Nine of Wands, abandoned, without a fair chance at life or without dignity. And you will bring them back on the map again, where you make them see how they are wanted and how they are useful with this Three of Pentacles. People that are very stigmatized or rejected by society even with this Nine of Wands. That is amazing and that is rare. I haven't seen your other cards yet, but let me just say that I already know that some of you are meant to work in environments like that, in very, very tough environments. You will be known for getting a lot of people back on their feet. Maybe that you're meant to be known in an environment where you take care of injured people or injured animals, or people who find themselves at a very weak spot in their life, where maybe they've just lost their job, or they just lost a loved one, or they've just lost their home. Maybe that you are meant to help more specific extreme cases too, to help incarcerated people to get reintroduced into society again and get a new start. Maybe that you are meant to shelter or take care of battered women, of orphans or elders, or people with special disabilities and conditions, or people with problems of toxicomania. I feel that you guys see the human behind that facade, all of those appearances that other people tend to get stopped by. You scoop those people out and you give them a reason to keep going and to live again. And the interesting thing is that I feel that this is because you guys don't hold any judgments. You guys probably can identify with how it feels like to be left out, to be abandoned, to be in this Knight of Wands position, and to have no one to count on or to truly trust. And I feel that this is why you will be known for putting this safe space together for people that feel like that, to feel like they're a part of something again. With this Three of Pentacles, whether that's part of a team or part of society or part of a group who have been through maybe the similar challenges as them. Another thing as well that you will be known for is that I feel that you're someone that will learn to turn your life completely around, Pal 4, especially if you have struggled in the first big part of your life. If you have been searching for yourself quite a lot, or searching for your purpose, or if you had big financial struggles maybe, and you will help people turn their life around too, through similar techniques that you will have used for yourself. You will come back into your life strong and successful, and you will show others how to do that too. And I feel that you will do that again by uniting people and bringing people closer together again, by gathering those people around a project, around a reason, around a cause, around a vision again, basically. Those people, they probably have lost interest or lost hopes in other humans before, or they have been badly treated with this Knight of Wands. And you will show them a different world that exists, where we can all coexist and thrive from the presence and help of one another, of the energy exchange of one another. So you're going to give them a reason to fight, a reason to heal, a reason to keep going. That is very, very beautiful. And that is divine work that you came to do here on earth. And I feel that one reason for that is because the road towards the success of my Pal 4s may be rocky. It has been rocky. It's been difficult. And maybe that at some point you want to give up. Maybe that at some point you have been knocked down from getting a similar chance than other people, or than most people around you. Maybe that you started with an Achilles heel somewhere in your life somehow with this Nine of Wands. Or maybe that you come from a family with very limited financial resources, or maybe that you come from an upbringing where you had to roll up your sleeves and work very hard, very young, more than most people. There is this element here of coming back stronger, better, more successful than ever before with this pal. So definitely don't give up, you guys. So let's jump into your other tarot cards now and see what career paths are going to make my Pal 4 very successful, no matter what your definition of success may mean to you personally, okay? And we have here the Ten of Swords reversed. And we have see, we have the Lovers. All right, so yeah, I feel that my pile 4, you guys are meant to bring back people on their feet again, whether that's psychologically, emotionally, or even physically. I feel that you are going to be this sort of cheerleader or caretaker or savior or angel, earth angel somehow, or compassionate person that is going to hold their hands through the very difficult things that they need to traverse or heal from or get back on their 2 feet from, through the very difficult things that they need to traverse and move forward with in their life. You guys may make brilliant nurses, doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, counselors. Some of you may even become one-on-one consultants with this Lover's card. You may make good guides or a good mentor or a good advisor. I also feel that a lot of you may be working alongside someone else or be the right arm of somebody else. This could be a life partner or a very big business partner. You could even work as the right arm of someone highly esteemed or highly important. Maybe that you're going to be the partner or the helper or the representative or the speaker for that someone, someone with a lot of notoriety. But I feel that there is a lot of counseling / therapy / healing / psychology work that you're meant to do with others, where you don't only treat their wound, but you also make them understand the psychological or emotional connection to it as well. You guys are definitely the great healers of this training today. And I see that any healing avenues may bring you an incredible level of success, whether that's traditional healing methods, maybe working in a hospital or working as a therapist or working in alternative healing as well, maybe doing Reiki or sound healing, something like that. But I see a lot of intimate one-on-one work here. So that is you creating that safe space, that receptive, loving space for people to feel loved, appreciated, accepted, and taken care of with the Lovers. I also have the visual of a hand trying to reach someone else's. I feel that you are meant to reach out to a lot of people, or maybe be in a career field where you help people repair their image, their reputation, or repair their relationship with themselves, or maybe even repair their relationships, literally, maybe repair their life, where maybe you're going to be a marriage counselor or some sort of matchmaker, even if that's relationship related. You are meant to be in this job that treats people very kindly and with a tremendous amount of compassion, love, and understanding for their condition, though, and the situation that they find themselves in with their life. And you are meant to be very professional about it, even if your heart and your own emotions may attach to those people from time to time. But this is a very, very human job that you're supposed to thrive in and find a lot of success in pile 4. Whether that's human resources or human relationships or healing, counseling, defending people even. Maybe that some of you are going to be a lawyer or something like that. But I see you specifically being in your mission here. I see you specifically targeting people who just need a hand to get back on their own 2 feet. I also see a lot of you guys working with people who have been through extremely difficult, even traumatic experiences with this 10 of Swords reversed. And maybe that this is what I saw earlier when I said that maybe some of you feel like you didn't have the same chance than others for when it comes to getting successful in this life with this 9 of Wands, where you had to do a lot of healing maybe before being able to be in your purpose, or where maybe you had to make all of these adjustments in your life first. Maybe that you had your own personal traumas to deal with as well before you could do that. But in any case, I see Some of you help people process some very painful, very traumatic events with this Ten of Swords reverse. Maybe help people resurrect from that. Help people who have gone through the loss of a loved one, or maybe helping people die even. Maybe that you are going to help people who have undergone sexual abuse or mental or physical abuse. Maybe that you're going to help veterans with PTSD, or people who have suffered from environmental catastrophes or even war. You are going to support them through events that shattered their life and left them in a state of emotional and psychological warfare and agony even. I see some of you having a lot of success by becoming this person that you needed at a certain point and place in your life where you really were in need of someone to help you pick yourself up, where you really needed someone with the right ear or the right heart to listen to you and to receive you and to give you that loving, accepting space to purge it all of that pain of the past with the Ten of Swords reverse. So now let's take a look at your oracle cards now, you guys, and see what other messages I may pick that may come out for you about your success stories and maybe other careers avenues that I may have missed on. And we have here failure, reflect, well-being. Yeah, see? Thank you, cards. Protection. Wow, that's a beautiful card. I really love that one. Then we have the truth, and this card says, you cannot be truthful with another person unless you are first truthful and honest with yourself. The truth is not afraid of questions. Right? And we have the healer. Yes, thank you, cards. Thank you, oracle cards, for confirming everything I've been feeling. I've been feeling the same way about my pile 4. So this card says, you and possibly someone you care about need to be healed from the effect of past traumas before things can be resolved to your liking. Wow, this is nuts, because I was just talking about with this Nine of Wands how you guys may have had to deal with that before getting a head start in your life. Wow. Okay. So that's how I feel like too. I definitely do feel like I was saying that you guys are meant to be the great healers and also the great protectors of the truth too. Protectors of people who have been mistreated or had a setback or a failure in their life. And who are looking to repair themselves from it. There is a lot of repair energy here in this reading, second chance energy, especially with this Nine of Wands, the Ten of Swords reverse, and this card of failure. This is resurrection type of energy here, coming back, transform, renewed, and stronger from those experiences. So like I've said, you guys may defend the right of those people or be the people's protector. And you may do that through either two ways, either through healing and through the wellness industry, with this card over here, and this can be quite large here. It can go from working in medicine through working in alternative healing methods, maybe personal care, nutrition, physical activity. And I also see a lot of you be in this mission through working in the law as well. So being a lawyer or being an officer or being a protector, like a paramedic or a firefighter, maybe going in the army as well, maybe even being a bodyguard even, or maybe through humanitarian activism or humanitarian actions basically. But one thing for sure is that there is a big energy here of being the person to go to when there is no other resort or no other option, and you being the first one on the field here in the emergency. So you being the first responder in a sense, or being at the very front line where you see the accident and you pick up the pieces and you pick up the people in the midst of the crisis of their life here. I feel that you guys are really, really, really good at that, at keeping your calm and your cool at the midst of crisis while everybody else is flipping out, basically. Or you may be really good at managing and stabilizing very tense, very stressful situations, situations where everybody else has their nervous system kicking up into high gear and you have to hold space for everybody else. So this is making me think almost of a surgeon here. This energy where you will be picking up people in the midst of very explosive cases where there is no more time to lose, or where they are in the middle, the very middle of the crisis, where they call you at night when they had that fallback or that relapse, or where they show up to your doorstep crying in desperation and agony. Some of you may even hold people's hands as they are dying, like I was saying. So this is very intense. There is big savior energy present here with you guys. But this is calm savior energy, let me just say, where you are just so acceptant of those people and opening your arms to receive them as they are, in the state that they are as. So wow, you guys came to do an absolutely difficult job. While everybody else is running the opposite direction, you guys will be the ones running towards it, you know, right into the explosion or right through the fire, while everybody else is fleeing away. So do you see as well how, I just noticed that, but do you see how on this card of reflect, there is a perfect symmetry here or balance here of three leaves coming together, and this is really making me think of this Three of Pentacles over there, which has that same symmetry. I feel that again, this is the energy of the Three of Pentacles coming back again, where I feel that a lot of you came to scoop up these people and bring them to unite or gather or team up together, or you bring them into society again. People who had to go through tremendous losses and who maybe feel like a failure in their life. I see you bring back those people to a sense of community, to a team, somewhere where they have the room to belong and to be respected and to matter. So you are going to be a lot of people's hero. That's one thing you will be known for. I feel that my Pile 4 will have this sort of success where some people may name you. They may say your name as one of the big reasons why they are still standing, as the reason why they have turned their life around or changed their life or survived under your treatment or under your protection or under your care for them. This is insane. But Pile 4, I hope that you appreciated your reading. If you have any questions or if this reading made sense to you, and if you have some personal experiences that you wish to share with me, then please, I want to hear about your story. Are you in your calling yet, or are you still soul searching? Where are you on your journey? Please share it down below with me in the comment section. And I want to thank you deeply for spending this time of your day with me, and I hope that you have learned something about your beautiful self in your journey towards success on earth. That this reading was empowering and motivating for you to go head on with your dreams. And if some of you have been interested to check out my online tarot services, I do offer personal tarot readings from my Etsy page. So the link to all of that, as well as my social medias, will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope that you subscribe to the channel, because there is a lot more videos coming soon for you all. And I hope to meet you there in the next one. Bye, you guys.